Last weekend, my wife and I headed away to Mansfield, which is a small town in regional Victoria. It's lovely. We arrived in the evening, then went to pick up my race bib for I was running in the marathon in the morning. Didn't make a friend of the cat locally, disappeared later on, but it was fairly easy to find the bib pickup. We elected to have our own dinner instead of staying for the all-you-can-eat pasta, and had a quiet night before the big day in the morning. The race started at 8 AM, which meant only a 6 AM wake up for me, which was nice. Had my breakfast of Wheat Bix and black coffee before getting myself ready to go. I don't think I've been as nervous about a race as I was before this one. Not really sure why, I just felt the nerves.
A bit of a nervous morning.
It's okay.
We'll manage.
We parked about 1 kilometre from the start line, which meant for a nice easy walk to warm up the legs, because it was a very brisk morning.
Not very warm.
No.
It's meant to be a little warmer than I'd hoped. It's going to get to like 17 today, but we'll see how that goes.
It was a fairly crowded start line. The marathon and half marathon were starting together, and the 10k, 5k and 2k dash were all starting fairly soon after it, so it was a good crowd at the start. My goal was to do this marathon in under 4 hours. That's 35 minutes faster than my personal best, and I would need to maintain a pace of 5 minutes and 45 seconds per kilometre. The trail running was nice. I do a lot of running on rail trails, so it felt very comfortable, and the slope, the incline, was gentler than the one I had done in my previous marathon back in November last year. This year the event was an out and back, but the out was only 10.55 kilometers from the start, so I needed to do 2 laps. By the time I got to the quarter way mark, I was well ahead of my target. I was about 5 minutes ahead in the first hour, which was going to take a toll later in the race. It didn't slow me down for the first half, which I finished in about 1 hour and 53 minutes, which was 7 minutes ahead of my target pace. It was a little strange getting to the halfway point where the half marathoners were finishing. I chatted with a few of them and had a lovely time, but it was a little strange saying goodbye to them and then heading back out to do my second lap, which turned out to be much harder than the first one. At this point, I was slowing down. I had overcooked it in the first half and I was paying the price now. I didn't stick to my plan, which I regretted on the way back out for the second lap. It was also warming up and there wasn't as much tree coverage as I'm perhaps used to, so I was heating up and I really felt the effects. I was slowing down. I was grateful to have a gentle, gradual downhill on the way back to the finish. It was fairly hard work. I was tired, I was warm, I had overdone it in the first half, but it was nice to at least not be fighting gravity to get to the end. By the 35th kilometre mark, it was clear that I was not going to be achieving my sub 4 hour. The goal then shifted to getting a new PB, which was still well within the realm of possibility so long as I kept moving forward at a reasonable pace. Which I was able to do, and I ended up finishing my third marathon with a time of 4 hours, 23 minutes and 3 seconds.
Nice.
I was glad to have finished the race. I was a bit sad that I burnt it out too fast in the first half, but I was pleased to have finished the well-run event. Thank you very much, the Mansfield Marathon folks. It was a nice one. And there it is. I've run my third marathon and hit another PB. I was happy with the effort. Yeah, as I said during the video, I wish I hadn't started quite as hard as I did. You know, the race day vibes, got caught chatting with someone, enjoyed it, ran the first half far quicker than I was intending and paid for it throughout the rest of the marathon. But hitting a PB, I'm always happy with. So I did shave about 12 minutes on my previous personal best, even though I wasn't, you know, at the target was good enough. I will take that. You know, I finished strong. At this stage, I'm filming this 2 days after running it. My legs are pretty achy still, as is to be expected, but as far as I can tell, and I'll know once the once the aches have gone away, but as far as I can tell, no injury, other than, you know, runner's toenail, which I don't really count as an injury. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to take a little bit of time now to rest and recover before launching into my next training season, aiming to get my speed down. I don't have a race booked in for that in particular. I'm thinking that maybe that'd be nice to have like a shorter race, like a 5 or a 10K ready to run, just to have something to work towards, because otherwise it's going to be a long time before my next marathon, which I'm thinking will be probably the Ballarat Marathon with you, Tim, next year. So that's just under 12 months away, which will be good. And yeah, coming to the end of the season, my head's not really been in this season. I found it really hard to get through it, to get the long runs in, to do the mileage that I need. And honestly, I was probably a little underprepared. You know, I've done the long runs, I've done what I need, but I was not getting quite the mileage each week that I was hoping for. So to get a PB under this condition, you know, I'm pretty happy about. So I'm going to take a bit of break from marathon running now. And yeah, look, I'm really looking forward to having a season to focus on speed. Tim and Shelby, it was great to see your run, Sheb, your 10K. Congratulations on setting a new PB in the Ballarat 10K. And yeah, I'm looking forward to following you along for your upcoming half marathon plans. So all the best for that. Before I finish up, I want to thank Steph, my wife, for coming away with me and for following along, going to each of the checkpoints, cheering me on, for doing the filming. Thank you, Steph, that was great. And thanks as well to Mum and Dad. It was an interesting Mother's Day for Mum. She wanted to come and watch me do the marathon, so from about the halfway point, her and Dad were following along, which was great. So thank you, Mum and Dad, for coming along, that was great. Yeah, Tim, looking forward to seeing your video on Thursday. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time.